All right, Henry McClure live here on YouTube, and I'm recording this in my on my main hard drive for posting on Instagram and X. Now we're going to go live on Facebook. All right, hi, Henry McClure live. This is the Late Show. Hey, I want to thank Charles Baylor, Charlie Baylor of the Oakland Express, and his one of his writers, Marty, for a very nice article about my campaign and a little get to know you. Thank you so much for that. I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about some of my followers, friends, constituents, advisors, those that want to critique some of the people that are critical about my campaign right now. Uh, I'm I'm at a real crossroads professionally as far as uh, a couple of projects that I'm working on, and my goal upon election, I've made a commitment and a campaign promise, which I will keep, to retire my real estate license. And I was saying that because I didn't want to have a conflict of interest, as I say, that I think the Greater Topeka Chamber has. I don't want to have that professionally. And what I really find ironic is that one of the things that was brought up during the primary for Kevin Cook was his ability to double dip on uh, his wages, taxpayer wages for being a county commissioner, and taxpayer wages of being a public defender. And 190 grand as a public defender, it's probably, who knows, that guy could be underpaid. There's probably a lot of stress that goes along with those cases. And but one of the main things that I've always said personally is that there's no way you can really be a an advocate for the people that live within the city limits that voted for you, because you could never really get grouchy with your employer. That's one of the things that's fun about being me. I can fire clients, and I've been fired. A guy the other day told me, "Hey, go say that," and I go, "No, that would be a lie. I'm not going to do it." And he goes, "Wow, okay," but you can't. And that's been one of the main things where I've been aggravated with the county, with the Shawnee County commissioners, and especially Kevin Cook more than anybody, is because he's chairman, and I think this year that might make him chairman of JETO. And for those that don't really understand JETO, it's the Joint Economic Development Group organization, which is completely flawed. And And so what I'm getting at, everybody's saying, or a lot of my very smart people, leave Klossman alone, leave Cook alone, leave Jetto alone, leave Matt Pavarnak and Molly alone. Uh, put all that aside till you get elected. Well, no, I don't want to do it. I think that's what gets me elected. And one of my friends was saying, "Well, the people of Oakland don't really understand Go Topeka." Well, that's nonsense. There's a lot of people have the very same feelings that I have about Go Topeka, and the relationship between Go Topeka and the Greater Topeka Partnership, the incestuous part of it, is terrible. They bought land from me and Dana Kay and Sue, his wife, 18 years ago, and it still sits vacant. Well, okay, so we want to put properties on the tax rolls, so we we let Go Topeka use taxpayer money. It's a not for profit, so they don't pay taxes. Hey, we're geniuses around here. And I could say under certain circumstances, um, that would be all well and good, but Go Topeka and the way we do economic development, that time has come and gone. And we need all the $5 million a year that's earmarked for economic development to go to infrastructure. Braxton Copley the other day said there's a $16.5 million shortfall for the projects that we have that are on the ballot. So look, let's go back in time to when we approved it in 14 on the ballot. It was to grow the population and broaden the tax base. We haven't done that. We've given corporate welfare to the richest families in the world. I mean, so we're subsidizing Walmart. We're subsidizing the Walton family and the Mars family. No, but yet a guy tries to bring in Chick-fil-A and Whataburger and zero help. I didn't get help up on Highway 24 when I was bringing in Heritage Tractor. Put a benefit. We had to do a benefit district, and all that land up there. It's just ignored by Molly and Matt. They probably don't even know that there is a sewer there, and all that private land could be developed. So we've got to get government out of the way. And if this is the way I go down, hey, look, I'm going to get my palm cards and I'm going to go door to door. And you might get a text from me. There the Numenar, the campaigning has gotten a lot more modernized. But I tell you something, the other day I was just walking around. It was funny. I was just going up to the houses that had flags. Anybody that had a flag out, yeah, I'll vote for you. I got a nice donation. Thanks, John Cavis. But listen, you know, oh, I do want to report that I did meet the city manager the other day, and I want to thank Braxton for getting me in. And it was nice to see Rhiannon there. And I want to talk to him about 21st and Adams and renovating that land, and whether we use a CID or TIF or some other enterprise. But let's go back to Wheatfield, 29th and Fairlawn Road, and let's look at the agreement that the developer got for Wheatfield, and let's just have that be the template. And they're getting money from three pots of money: TIF, CID, and they've got 1.6 million from the sales tax roads. I brought in January 10th, 2023, a request for Jetto that was just completely ignored. And so technically, I can do a core request, and I can, based on the bylaws of the whole program, I can Molly would have to, so I can core the meeting notes when this was, I should be able to get the meeting that it was discussed and turned and denied, because that ought to be a matter of record. But I got a real problem in the past with the guy that is chairman of the board of Go Topeka, owing the county, or owing the taxpayers over $8 million in back taxes. And yeah, I'll bring it up. I got nothing to lose about telling the truth. But the very first time I really started pressing Kevin Cook about Lawrence Bay, very interestingly, I got an email, and I'll be delighted to share it with anybody, from the chairman of the board of Go Topeka, saying that I shouldn't be going behind his back. Like he's above me and the public officials. And I'm telling you what I feel like. I feel like George Bailey and in Potterville. And we can change the names whenever you want. But that's what we've got going on here. I'm not running against Kevin Cook. I'm running against the system. And for those of you that think I'm, like when I was talking to that homeless guy the other day, hey, you know Matt and Molly and all that? Well, I don't respect Matt and Molly because they don't tell the truth. You can look at the annual report, and right there, it's like 3.3 million into the overhead. But then where it really gets insane, so we don't need 14 people or how many other people up there saying they're doing economic development when we've got a $16 million shortfall in the road projects that are on the ballot. And I'm going to say this because how many politicians go in there and say, well, I'm going to do this and that, and then don't do it? Well, hey, I'm going to try to change it today. And I want to meet as many people today. But I want your vote today because, well, he's already doing it. Hey, he's taken it. Joan Wagner, thank you, Joan. She said, Henry, I appreciate you taking on the establishment. And I've always admired Joan, and I will be out there to put a sign in your yard. Thank you. I've admired Joan because of her ability, and I'm just going to use the word, hey, to do deals. She didn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. She just wanted to get what's best done. And that's what we need to do today is we need to put Shawnee County first. We need to quit putting the chamber first and the old cronies. We've got to stop how we're doing it. Look, I'm born July 13th, 59, and the population is not much more than the day I was born. I mean, 5,000 people more. But we can do it better than we're doing. But look, if we don't want, if it's just sophistry, which is a nice, it's Yiddish for bullshit. If it's just bullshit that we're not going to grow the population, well, then we don't need to fund go Topeka and economic development. And let's just let the private side fund that. We go Topeka is nothing more than really funding the agenda of the Greater Topeka Partnership. And let's start there. Let's start talking about breaking up the Greater Topeka Partnership. Let's take Visit Topeka and let's move them over to the Expo Center or the Stormont Vale Center. Let's move downtown Topeka out and give them some simple space or some space in the city or county space. But we've got to do things different today. We can't abdicate all our power to the Greater Topeka Partnership. And now let's talk about, speaking of advocating the power, let's talk about the county councilor, Rich Eckert. He wrote a ludicrous letter today, not telling the truth, totally defensive about the letter that I wrote to Chris Kobach to analyze the what I say, let's just say the wrongdoings or the non-compliance of how we're supposed to collect taxes and and foreclose on real estate. And number one, number number one, he kind of jumped me in the hallway and said something really, um, uh, well, if you don't like it, just you can change it when you become a county commissioner. Well, okay, I plan on doing it, but I want to change it now. You know, you um, what Rich Eckert's doing today is case by case deciding what properties get foreclosed on or put on the list. And he said today that a whole list of them, that everybody in Lawrence Bay was on the list. Well, it's not on the website, and he tries to use, and Kevin Cook did this too. He tried to bring up the fact that, well, within the statute, the city actually can also foreclose because of the specials. Well, as far as the county treasurer goes, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's taxes or specials, they're not getting paid. And maybe the city of Topeka shouldn't have run the developer out of town, which I think they did. Well, I'm going to sleep good today, getting all this off my chest. But we've got to change. We've got to change the way Topeka does business. We can't, the Uniform Development Agreement will make it to where anybody can do a deal without spending thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. I've got to make it to where anybody that's a member of the Board of Realtors basically could pick up a form, fill it out for their client, because that's who I want to engage in marketing the land that is entitled to go Topeka. I want to take that land back. And then I want to engage the 740 professionals that live deal to deal. So all of a sudden we zero out the need for Go Topeka. We put it in the hands of the professionals that know how to live and make deals day to day. Here's the thing about it. It's not how hard you work. It's how hard your network works for you. So I want to give 720 small businesses the ability to be a part of the growing of Topeka in the form and fashion that we choose to. And I tell you, we can do so much with TIF. We can do so much with CID. It's already state laws. We don't have to reinvent the wheel with the development agreements. If it was good enough for Jim Klossman at Wheatfield and the developers at Wheatfield, well, then it's good enough for California Crossing, and it's good enough for 21st and Adams, and it's good enough for anywhere in Oakland. So let's just simplify things, but let's just engage a whole new group of people. Let's create an even playing field. Hey, I want to meet people. I'd love to come talk to your group. Hey, talking about me is one of my favorite subjects. Not really, but I do believe that my podcast studios and the ability to go live and talk to people has been very helpful for me. And I tell you what, I've loved having different people in here. I do owe Tyler Weibel a whole new show because we had audio. We had some audio problems. I had some audio problems over at the pool. I'm going to tell the last time I'm going to tell the pool story about Jim about Kevin Cook coming up to me while I'm talking to John Akla. That was interesting. So Kevin, because the point is how a guy treats you socially is also a way a guy treats you professionally. And Kevin Cook ignores me, and he ignores good ideas like helping put a sewer in up there for the Pizza Hut, which would have been paid back by now if I'd have got my building permit in less than 2 years. And so he asked John if he'd like to go back get a sneak peek of the pool, and like John looked at me like, and I'm thinking, yeah, I feel that he didn't ask me to go, and I kind of there, I kind of felt there might be some tension between Kevin and John. I may be reading something into that, but I go, hey Kevin, what about me? And then John kind of goes, hey, no, you interrupted us. You rudely interrupted us, and I don't want to go in. And thanks, John. But we've got to today. We've got to today put Shawnee County first. We got to quit being Republicans and Democrats. We got to do what's good for the community. And if I can start now making the changes I want to make, tell your friends that, well, I'm not afraid to take on anything. All right. Thanks for tuning in. If nobody's told you they love you, I love y'all. Thank you. Have a good night. Henry McClure live coming to you from the Glass Houses studio. And uh, part of this transmission is brought to you by Shawnee County First Henry McClure Treasurer. This this message was approved by Henry McClure. Hey, and I'm going to give you a little secret. This November, I'm voting for Henry McClure live. All right. That's it, YouTube. That's it, Facebook. That only leaves you up there, X, and Instagram, and whoever this is going to go to.